Chief Justice Martha Koome has appointed Justice Richard Mwongo to preside over the High Court petition challenging the election of MBEERE North Member of Parliament Leonard Muthende. The decision was announced following a Gazette notice published on Friday, January 2nd, 2026, which directed the case be heard in the designated election court at Embu High Court. This move ensured that the matter will be handled by the proper judicial forum as required under the Kenyan electoral law. The petition arises from the closely contested by-election held on November 27, 2025 in MBEERE North. The election saw the United Democratic Alliance UDA candidate Leo Muthende face competition from the Democracy for Citizens Party DCP, led by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. The by-election attracted national attention due to the participation of prominent political figures and the narrow margin of victory declared at the polling stations. The legal challenge was initiated by two voters who filed the petition on 30 December 4, 2025. The petitioners requested the court to annul Muthende's victory and to offer a fresh election in the constituency. The filing presented specific claims regarding the alleged irregularities prior to and during the by-election, forming the basis for judicial review. Central to the petitioner's argument was the claim that Muthende changed his name from Leonard Muriuki Njeru to Leonard Muthende before the November by-election. They contested that this alteration had not been properly reflected in the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission (IEBC) register at the time of voting. According to the petitioner, the discrepancy rendered the official declaration of Muthende as the winner unlawful under the Kenyan electoral law. In addition to the name change issue, the petitioner asserted that Muthende was not a registered voter when he participated as the candidate in the by-election. They argued that the Kenya's law requires all individuals seeking public office to be duly registered voter and that this requirement had not been fulfilled. The petitioners maintain that these factors combine to undermine the legality of the electoral process and called on the court to intervene. The appointment of Justice Richard Mwongo by Chief Justice Martha Koome established the legal framework for hearing and determining the petition. Justice Mwongo is tasked with reviewing all evidence submitted by the petitioners and respondents, asserting compliance with the electoral law and issuing a ruling based on the findings. The Chief Justice's direction ensures that the election dispute is resolved in a proper judicial forum. The MBEERE North by-election had previously drew public attention due to its competitive nature. Leo Muthende represented the ruling UDA party faced off against Rigathi Gachagua's DCP candidate in the constituency that had experienced active political campaigns. The close results and subsequent legal challenge highlight the scrutiny applied to electoral outcomes and the role of courts in upholding legal compliance. The petitioners claim specific focus on procedural adherence in the registration and candidacy process. They argue that the candidate's name change should have been fully updated in the IEBC system to prevent confusion and ensure transparency. Furthermore, they maintain that the participation in the election without valid voter registration violates Kenyan electoral law and undermines the legitimacy of the declared results. Chief Justice Koome's directive emphasized adherence to the procedural and legal requirements, ensuring that the disputes election will be reviewed under the judicial oversight. The appointment of Justice Mwongo provides the legal authority necessary to hear the arguments, examine evidence, and issue a determination regarding the validation of Muthende's election. The judicial involvement is central to maintaining public confidence in the electoral processes. The Gazette notice specified that the case will be heard at Embu High Court, designated as the official election court for this matter. This ensures that the petition will follow a structured judicial process within timelines and procedures guided by electoral law. The arrangement underscores the separation of power between the electoral authorities and the judiciary in resolving election disputes. The legal challenge in MBEERE North marked the next step in determining the validity of WAMUTHENDE's declared victory. The process involved judicial examination of all claims, including voter registration compliance and the accurate reflection of candidate details in the electoral voter registry. The High Court, under Justice Mwongo's supervision, will ensure that the matter are thoroughly assessed according to the law. The by-election in MBEERE North had attracted attention not only for its competitiveness, but also for the participation of multiple political parties. The petition emphasized the need for strict compliance with electoral regulation, particularly regarding voters' registration and candidate documentation. The outcome of the case will determine whether WAMUTHENDE's victory stands or whether a fresh election is requested. The Chief Justice appointment provides a clear framework for the judiciary to manage the election petition effectively. Justice Mwongo will hear arguments from both the petitioner and the respondent, review all relevant evidence, and ensure that the legal process is followed in full regard. The ruling is expected to provide clarity on whether the procedural issue raised by the petitioner affected the validity of WAMUTHENDE's election.